I'm pretty much packed and ready to go. Before I go, I spend the day with my babies, energized, and it's going to get us to London. Because there are outlets for help that are online. I myself, my website, kinkycurlycoilyme.com, is an outlet for help. If you think about someone who has just newly embarked on a health and fitness journey, and they're no longer eating fast food, or they're no longer eating as much sugar.
They're preaching it.
Exactly. And they're telling everybody, don't eat that, that's bad for you, because they're so engaged in what they're doing and they're consumed in it. It's the same thing with natural hair. When you first go natural, you're so excited. For the first time in your life, you're being told you can be accepted exactly the way you are. You don't need to enhance or do something to your hair to change it. And so immediately they start preaching this self-righteousness that if you obviously aren't natural, there must be something wrong with you.
You're not conscious enough.
Yes, you don't have the same love for yourself that I do because I've done it. And that may not very well be true. There is a lot of education and self-preserving prophecy that comes from being natural, but I am inclusive of everyone. I feel like you deserve to have the right and the option. And I do have a place where I stand where I say that chemical relaxers aren't good. And it's the truth. It's the science. They aren't good for you. They're not healthy for your body. And if you want to wear your hair straight, you have options that don't require you to be chemically processed with the relaxer. You can wear your hair straight and be natural. You can get a blow dryer and you can straighten it out with the flat iron. There's so many options for you. I don't mind those. Actually, in the community of women that I work with, we refer to weaves, wigs, extensions as protective styling because when worn properly, it gives your hair a break from the constant manipulation of everyday wear and tear, you know, because there is a maintenance that requires you to do your hair at night and in the morning to restyle it and preserve it. So putting on a wig is a protective style that you can wear to keep your hair free from manipulation, and putting on some extensions is another option. A lot of women, especially from African culture, we wear extensions in the form of braids and twists and weaves as a method to preserve our hair during the colder climates, and also now for fashion. So I have nothing against it. I just preach to be careful because traction alopecia is on the rise. I mean, the edges, girls, your edges, they're gone. And because of the tension from the stress from the weaves or heavy weaves or pulling and the breakage from the braids, you see that more and more people are losing their edges because of that. Or we put the weaves and the extensions in and then we never do anything to our hair, so it breaks because it's so dry. So I preach that you learn how to moisturize while you're wearing weaves and extensions. Don't put the weave on
as a hat.
And then you just wear it every day as a hat and never touch your hair. Don't do that.
Okay. It's a football event.
Football event, okay. Trainers is what you call sneakers?
Yes.
I'm picking up the lingo.
Okay. And it's funny you take it for granted thinking that you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. I found the most intimidation when I've been asked about kilos, well, pounds as it relates to money.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so how much is that? Like my trip here was 20 something pounds. And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, well, I'm just going to have to pay it.
And just hope for the best.
Yeah, and then
We're going to go up here. So this is Oxford Street.
Oxford Street.
Oxford Street.
Okay. This
street.
looks very similar to like a 34th Street or 42nd Street in Manhattan.
Okay.
Wow.
Manhattan,
yeah, okay.
So yeah, this is the main thoroughfare. That's Regent Street. That's Posher.
Okay, Posher. I love when you say that. That's like more high-end, right? Okay, I'm going to start using that when I go home.
And then Oxford Street is High Street, you know,
Got it.
H&M, you know, the usual.
Yeah.
There's a big department store down there called Selfridges.
Okay.
And stuff.
What's your blog name?
Hair Valley.
Hair Valley.
At the moment it's called valleyfontaine.com.
Okay.
But as of next month when the book comes out, I'm going to go to Hair Valley.
Okay, I'm going to quickly get you.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm here with Valley Fontaine. valleyfontaine.com or Hair Valley.
Soon to be.
Soon to be. So check her out. She is working with BBC London.
Yeah.
And I just had an amazing interview with her that's going to be a part of one of their Caribbean culture segments.
That's right.
This weekend. And she's doing me a solid by taking me out.
The pleasure's all mine.
I'm going to turn this around. So I said to her, you know, I guess maybe inside my heart I was hoping you would come with me.
Aww.
But when I said to her, I said, like, do you make any recommendations of somewhere to eat? And then she just offered to take me around. I was like, thank you, God.
How did I not?
So now we're gonna go find some place to eat.
We're gonna go to Nando's. I'm gonna take us to Nando's and have chicken. And if you're British, you'll know what I mean when I say Nando's. Nando's.
Okay, yes, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Hey guys, so it is my second day in London. It is Saturday. Today's actually the day of the Curlvolution event, which is why I'm here. Last night I had an awesome evening. You saw the little clip that I filmed of me with Valley Fontaine of Hair Valley, and she's one of the BBC London Community World Service hosts, and we went to Nando's and basically had a great talk. We had so much to talk about. We were there until midnight. Crazy. So I started to feel like a cold was coming on while I was out and about. You know how you start to feel a little bit of some discomfort in your throat, and then it started to turn into full-on like aches and pains and soreness in my neck and in my back, and the grunting started to come on stronger, and the nasal clearing was coming on stronger, and then I even started coughing. So the cab that I was in, he took me to a place called Asda, which is like a 24-hour grocery store type of situation, and I was able to get some Motrin, well, ibuprofen, they don't have Motrin there, and some cold and flu medicine, and I prayed to God last night after I took it so that he could please restore me to good health. So yeah, I was feeling really bad, and I was just asking God, please heal me and restore me to good health. And I slept really well, but I was essentially sweating the whole entire night. So I was sweating out the cold. And I mean, every time I woke up, you could see the sweat all over me, like dripping. It was pretty intense. So the cold was definitely leaving my body. When I got back to the hotel after the cab ride from BBC London and the grocery Asda, my card was declined when it was time to pay the fare. And it was, 1 o'clock in the morning at this time here, and I had to come inside because if I use my phone, even though it's an 800 number or whatever, a toll-free number, it would charge me to an international rate, and I didn't want to do that, so I was using the hotel phone to call my bank to get the situation rectified, and it took like 40 minutes, and the poor cab driver lost 40 minutes of working time waiting for me to get my damn bank situation under control. I was so embarrassed, and at the same time I understand, like, it was the bank protecting me, but it was becoming a hindrance because if you remember, I shared with you in yesterday's video that it takes way too much time to resolve the issue. Like, it's just so much time, and obviously when you're about to swipe your card, you're in the middle of something or you're concluding something. So your goal isn't to now have to sit there for about 40 minutes resolving a situation. You're in the middle of something. Could you imagine, like, you just finished dinner or you have somewhere that you need to rush to? It's just annoying. So I brought cash, but I wasn't really considering that in the UK, they use a different monetary system. So I tipped the cab driver money, and he was like, the way he looked at me, it was obvious that he was just like, what is this? Like, it was like toy, like, I felt like it was like Monopoly money. The way he looked at me was not like, initially it wasn't like with gratitude. It was just like, what is this? Not the best lighting, but I'm all dressed. I'm wearing a cobalt blue or royal blue top, which is my sorority Zeta Phi Beta colors, and a Malambo Designs skirt. Yeah, I'm gonna wear just black ballet flats because I'm gonna be on my feet pretty much all day from now 11 till about 5 p.m. So this is my outfit. Let me see if I can get a good close-up of my makeup. No, probably not from this way. How about we just turn you around? Yes, there we go. So you can see my makeup. I went with the smoky eye. I always wear a smoky eye and a new lip. Okay, perfect. I just want to be able to get some of me talking and stuff, so. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. This is my first time in London. This is my first time ever just on this side of the world. So it was definitely a nerving opportunity. It was exciting when Bookie, as we say in America, Bucky, invited me over. So my name is Jenell B Stewart. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of an online natural hair magazine called kinkycurlycoilyme.com. I founded, I have, I know when it's here, it's kind of loud, but is this okay? Okay, so I want to be able to move around. Let's see how far I can go. I founded my website in 2010, and essentially it was my way to share my natural hair journey. My cousin chopped off my hair, and I chopped off hers, and we immediately realized that we did not have similar textures because she was all about the gel and the wash and go, and I tried that and my hair was like, oh, hell no. So I had nobody to speak to. I didn't have many references. In 2010, there were some YouTubers and there were some bloggers, not as many as now. So I found real excitement and joy in talking about my hair with my husband. And I would tell him, oh babe, you know, I can use coconut oil to do such and such, or I can use shea butter. And he'd just be like, why is that important to me? What does that matter? And so I chose my daughter and my son by name. Yeah, people talk to me about them, and I actually had made a video where I started talking about how you guys all have that relationship with me and how it shocks. You don't think about it because you see me from one way, but when I see people who absolutely I've never met before, and they're like, how is Elle and JJ, and I'm starting to get emotional because I love my children. Oh, calm down. Okay, so let's get into what we're getting into. So natural hair survival guide is kind of like the thing that I like to preach. We all have different experiences in how we became natural, and we all have different experiences with our own hair. And I know you watch YouTubers, myself included, or maybe you have friends and family members who are natural, and you ask them about their journey and you ask them about their hair care regimen, and they talk about so many things, and it's just like, I ain't got time for all of that. She's one of them. Yeah, you have a very extensive regimen. Okay, I want you to share, just so you can see how involved and intensive it can be. I'm gonna put the mic over there so we can all hear you. So tell us about your regimen.
Well, I have to take my hair out, which takes
Perfect. Thank you, Sesama.
hours to take it out. Then I have my conditioner, which I put in overnight.
Okay. So this starts from the day before. You haven't even done anything, and it's the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conditioner overnight, put my plastic cap on and go to bed. Wake up, then I wash it out, put it into full
Sections. Okay.
Then I wash each one.
Point in your wig, do you take it out and wear it in like this style?
I don't.
You don't usually, so this is just for us today.
Special.
Got it. Well, yeah, I mean, her regimen is definitely intensive and involved, and it's probably not practical for every single person. And there are people who are probably like, I got a few more steps on top of her, because we all have various regimens and things that we do. And while people who are not natural, they're always saying, you know, I just can't do it, it takes too much time, it's like really impossible. I am not gonna ever say like natural hair is easy. I usually say, well, yeah, it is. And one of the major reasons why when you go natural, it becomes this huge undertaking is because for the very first time ever, you're taking care of your hair from start to finish all the time with nobody else participating in that. And when you consider how much your stylist supported you in your even relaxed hair journey, or if you wear weaves, if you wear extensions, then you start to realize that they actually did deserve that money, and we were complaining about adding a $5 deep conditioner on top of that, and we were complaining about how much it costs just for a trim, and all these things, and you start to realize, like, oh, I wish somebody could do this for me. So a lot of it is trial and error. So yes, it is definitely a lot more challenging dealing with natural hair than it is with relaxed hair because of that. Once you've committed to it, and if you ask women who are relaxed, if they usually will say, I've tried to go natural. I've yet to find someone who I've asked, well, have you ever tried it yet? And they say, no, I've never tried it. And they're just talking like completely from their backside. Everybody usually has tried it, so they've experienced the real pain. Because if you've never experienced the real pain, then what are you talking about? So why are we having this conversation? So they usually have. And once you get past that, for those of you who are fully natural now, you learn that even though it is a commitment, it's not impossible. You can get through it, and it's doable, it's workable. And then later on in your journey, some other things start happening. You start developing more confidence. You feel so good about yourself. If you do put your hair in some type of like weave or wig or extension, you like, I miss my hair like in 2.5 seconds. You want your hair back. You want it bigger. When you were relaxed, you were running away from thickness, and now you're like, I just want it thick. So like all of these things that used to be an issue for you, now you're embracing them and you love them. And then you find things like water at the beginning. You're like, oh, I don't have to worry about the rain because I'm natural. And then you have your twist out and you're like, oh, it's raining. So, you know, all these things, they start to change. They start to change. But essentially what I want to talk to you today about is regimen building, which is part of your survival kit. Once you get that down, everything is good. And even though, what's your name, ma'am?
Marjorie.
Marjorie takes a day and a half to do her hair, which is a lot of time. It seems like you don't have much maintenance or anything to do during the week.
No, I keep it, I think, for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's 2 weeks. So it's like a day and a half for 2 weeks of like absolutely nothing, where a lot of us are spending 30, 45 minutes every night retwisting, watching Scandal, retwisting, watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, retwisting. I mean, it's just a part of our like daily routine. We have to retwist. So it's like, would it be a good idea to spend a day and a half and then do nothing for 2 weeks? I don't know, maybe. You have to decide for yourself. And then after survival out, this is not going to give you the ultimate clean because it is not a cleansing shampoo product. So don't use it and be like, well, my hair doesn't feel really clean. It's not going to. Red light, like that's where the brothels and everything?
Yeah.
Oh!